Hello friends, and welcome to this video where I'm going to be redecorating half of my back room, and I'll explain everything in a minute. As you may know, we've got an extension planned and the start is going to be sometime next month, hopefully. And basically it's also my son's 5th birthday coming up, so we're hoping to do a party, which means that I want it to look a little bit more presentable, even though we're going to have that extension happen. So essentially, before I begin, I would love for you to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more stuff on our extension and plans and designs. Like the kitchen is going to be completely fresh and new, the space is going to be doubled, and we're going to be going open plan. And if you want to see all the things that are happening for my son's birthday and birthday party, because I'm going to be doing a get it all done with me video as like the final stretch for everything. So we've got the bouncy castle coming, we've got over like nearly 30 kids actually turning up as well, with loads and loads of adults as well. So basically we've got a very busy time ahead, and I'm going to be sharing it all. So make sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It's been a while since I've done a house to home sort of video, because we bought a project house. We knew we're going to put a lot of work into it, a lot of love, a lot of labor. And that's exactly what we've been doing for the last 3 years. We finally got to that stage where we are able to pay for the extension. So I can't wait for that to actually happen. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, so basically I am super duper excited to share with you around what's happening in this room, which I've already started behind me. I'm sure you can see. I'll take you around. But before I do, I'm going to show you, I'm going to take you back to the past, show you some before footage. So day 3 of when we first moved in. I'm going to show you some footage about a year and a half later, and I'm going to show you very recent footage of me, my son, my husband, all putting some work into this room to basically get rid of wallpaper, mirrors, and other bits and bobs around this room. And then I'll meet you back here and give you a tour of what I currently have in this room. So this room we've termed the garden room. It's actually a dining room slash living room. So basically this space will be anything that we want it to be. We want it to take down this wall and make an open kitchen, living, dining room space, so that we can use it as a family, have anything that we need at that time for the time that we need it, basically. But we know it's going to cost a lot of money, because we want to actually extend it outwards as well. So not only take the back wall, although we'll probably start with the wall and see where we can get to, and then extend it, because the extension is going to cost a lot of money. We just need to save up for that. Obviously, after buying this new house in such a good location as well, it's taken a lot out of the budget. But essentially we are here, we've got the space, and we are going to make do. And essentially it's our forever home. So we're looking forward to redecorating it and making it ours. This is actually a room we haven't touched. We've not done anything major to it, because we know that we plan to actually get rid of the wall over here, which is connecting to the kitchen, which I'll show you in a second. We did add some furniture pieces to it, so like a nice table and chairs, which I'm hoping will fit in really nicely when we've actually got the extension. We plan to move back into the garden. I'll also show you the garden, but basically make it like a huge open plan kitchen living space, which we can't wait for, but we'll have to wait a couple of years for at least, in terms of money. So basically this room we mostly use for playing with. So we either play with Aiden here, so lots of toys. And actually the other thing that I do is I work a lot on this corner here. I just enjoy looking out into the garden. I love seeing everything outside those patio doors. It's so pretty. Also the sunshine, it's really warm, but it's a very lovely room. I think what we're going to do is potentially take up the flooring before the extension, just because the carpet is just not practical when it comes to family life. We basically killed it. As soon as we've come in, a week later it wasn't itself again, and we tried to clean it using the carpet cleaner, and it worked for Christmas for about a week or two, and then it got stained again. So yeah, basically this carpet gotta go. Anyway, that's about it for this room. I think that it's very strange in the sense that we found out during the rewiring that on the side there's like some fake walls on either side of the chimney breast. So we're not quite sure what to do there, and we're going to have a look at our options. But if you've got any recommendations, do comment down below.
I feel better every day. The troubles I had have been washed away. I'm cleaning up my act and moving on. In the silence of my room, I'll sleep all night and get up at noon. There's nothing to distract me in my dreams. Like a pillow on my face, no one can hurt or invade my space. I still walk the streets with my head high, and though I wonder where I'd be if no one had helped or remembered me, I know my own will has got me through. I know why
welcome to the present day, and if you've seen my previous video around preparations for my son's birthday and birthday party, then you would have seen this room and the chaos. But basically, let's start off with this side of the room. I've taken down wallpaper, and something that I didn't mention in the other video, I didn't want to go into the nitty-gritty, but have a look at these two walls. They've got holes in them and they're like extra padding. And what's actually interesting, I wonder whether I can go up the ladder and show you up there, but there's actually a gap about 2 inches thick in between this. So we think that this is actually a way of soundproofing that the lady did who owned the house before us. And this is on either side. And we know that she had a fireplace here, which I do plan to paint as well, like I did in the front room. But essentially we are thinking about keeping these and potentially adding an even thicker layer on top of it, which is either going to be wood or, you know, plywood, or what's the other one, chipboard. So we're going to see which one is more suitable. I say we, my husband's going to decide. But basically what I've been doing is taking down the wallpaper here. My husband took down the mirror. My son has been helping me, which is awesome. And the last bits that I need to do are basically the bit at the top. So the coving, I believe it's called. So yeah, basically this is only half done, and I'm only going to be doing it in halves. And the reason for that is because of the extension that I've mentioned. Because when the extension does happen, we will not actually have this wall. So I do not see why I'm wasting my time taking down the wallpaper and painting it if we're not going to have this wall in about a month or two, you know? So basically what I've done is actually, luckily, the wallpaper already was sectioned in this way because it was lined in this particular way, which was super lucky. We do plan to keep a little bit of this wall because we're hoping to keep the hallway with the doors and everything. We'll change the doors to like see-through ones, hopefully. But yeah, basically I do not want to touch anything past this section here. So I might paint it anyway so that it all blends in and doesn't stand out so much. But when it comes to a wallpaper over here, do excuse the noise, as my tortoise vivarium shaking as I move past. But yeah, basically there's wallpaper here, which I'm definitely not planning to touch because this wall is going, and this, all of these patio doors are going as well. What I don't know whether I can be bothered to do is I need to take down this strip of wallpaper because we are keeping this wall. We do think that this section is actually going. We are going to ask them to take this down as well because it won't fit with the open plan. It won't really look nice, but we want to keep this chimney breast. And basically the idea is to prime it, which are going to keep me company for and help me out with. I need to, before I prime it, to take down these things like I've already mentioned. I need to fill in any gaps in the walls. Basically that's good old filler that's gonna help me do that. I've done this around the house so many times. I do feel like I'm a bit of a pro now, professional in this. So basically just repair the wall, maybe sand it down, maybe clean it and brush it off a little bit because they use like foam underneath the wallpaper throughout. So just in case any stayed on there, I'll just clean it up a bit, do the primer, and then give it a white coat. But yeah, basically the plan is, whether it's before or after the party, I do need to paint this. Is it a dado rail? No, it's a skirting board. So I need to paint this skirting board because we're hoping to put a radiator on this side, because my trusted usual radiator, let me try and turn you around, which is humongous and does a really good job during the winter, unfortunately we're going to have to say goodbye because that wall is going. So I'm hoping I could ask them to basically put a new one in over here, which will do a good trick as well, but we shall see. So that's where we are now, and I'm looking forward to prepping the rest of it, doing the primer and painting it. Just quickly, before we do continue on our hard work, I also want to try and cover up all of these cracks and holes up here and repaint that bit at least, or repaint the ceiling if I can. So we'll see how we get on.
The troubles I had have been washed away. I'm cleaning up my act and moving on. In the silence of my room, I'll sleep all night and get up at noon. There's nothing to distract me in my...
Hi friends, and welcome to the future me. So we have finally got to a place where we're happy to have the party. I'll walk you through the room, explain a few bits that you would have seen during the redecoration. Maybe you want some more information about like the wall and the insulation that I basically ripped out on one of the sections. Yeah, so basically before I start, I just wanted to point out that I've been using my like air purifier. It's actually my husband's, but it's so good and we love it, and we usually put it on every night because we think that the air quality could basically always be a lot better. And as there's usually 3 of us when my 4-year-old climbs into bed, 3 of us plus the dog, so I guess 4 in the bedroom, so it's good to actually have that purified air. I've turned it off for now so you can't hear it, so that you can hear me better, but I've had this on full blast basically for the last few hours at least. But yeah, basically I thought I'd bring it over and actually show you. If you are interested, it's got loads of options. So there's a sleep mode where you can turn off the light, where the sound is a lot quieter, but there's also 3 options on top of that where it's like low, medium and high, and I've been putting it on high basically. But there's other things as well. There's timers, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, lights, locking devices. So there's lots of options, and I'll make sure to link this down below for you guys basically, if you wanted to get it on Amazon. A really good thing. It's a really great device, especially if you're redecorating the house, and I know we're going to be using it so much when it gets so dusty with the walls coming down, you know, the extension and everything else. So I'm grateful that we have this item. I think Nanny and Grandad bought it for us, so thank you so much. And yeah, basically I'm going to walk you through this room. We have done so much hard work on this. It took the whole family, even my son got involved, even my dog was supervising. So yeah, let me turn you around and walk you through the room bit by bit. So it's a real shame that it's quite a dark and glum day, so it's not that sunny. Hopefully you can see still though, like it's pure white, but don't worry, it's not stained white. It's mostly like a primer. We just used any white paint we had in the garage, which was actually like a ceiling paint, but we thought we'd use it as a primer. We did a couple of layers. I did do the ceiling. I'd love to do another layer up there if I get time before the party in a couple of weeks' time. And I want to use gloss paint on the coving and the skirting boards, like I've already mentioned earlier in the video. The bits that I did want to mention, firstly, the most painful sections were probably the sections where there was old wallpaper underneath the wallpaper, which had pretty much merged with the wall. It was so old, I had to use... So basically, I usually use like a cup of vinegar with warm water, and then I basically get a damp cloth, and it's a great alternative to like a wallpaper remover machine, which Grandad has, but we didn't have at that time, and I thought it's such a small section. It was on either side of the chimney breast, which, because we've already done this middle section last year, I believe, we didn't finish it, so it was good to actually finish this off with a white on top. So it does look a lot nicer. There's no patches like you would have seen before basically. So it's nice to have this room so fresh. Yes, it's pretty much just like, you know, white and neutral, but once I put my son's paper chains on, so you know, the party decorations on here, I think it's going to look so fun. Okay, so let me talk about this soundproofing, potentially an insulation wall. We have left this for now because we're not quite sure what or how we want it. So we thought, you know what, we're going to leave it for now, keep the soundproofing. It's also really messy and dusty, so if you would have seen my, basically me taking off the insulation of this little wall, and that was painful enough. you know, I just noticed that I didn't actually do a second layer up here because you can see the old dado rail where it used to be. But yeah, basically, so the soundproofing stays here and there, and yeah, that is why it's like all dotty and weird, a little bit of a strange wall, but at least you can't notice it too much. And as I said previously, there's about this much in between the actual wall and the insulation. And inside the insulation is a little bit like bits of foam and bits of like things that you put into like a vivarium or like, you know, a rabbit hutch or something. So it wasn't great for me to inhale that either. So yeah, basically that's a job for another day. So something I did want to share with you is actually that we've got a fireplace here. I wanted to paint it, but then my husband actually said, because it's not actually in center, he said, why don't we take down an extra section here, ask the builder men basically to break down this section and make it like a lot wider. So there's no point of painting it if we know we're going to ruin it basically. So then we can make it into like an entertainment unit and have the TV here. So the plan is basically to have like a corner sofa here and an entertainment unit on the chimney breast, which will be really awesome. We are quite sure that this wall is going, so hopefully that's like a flattened section that we will have for like lots and lots of storage and units. I was thinking maybe putting a pantry on on that wall as well in one of the units, but we'll get there when we get there. So as you can see, I did leave, sorry about the lighting, I did leave the wallpaper and some of the coving, so it does look a little bit messy in the corner here, and some of the coving up here as well looks a little bit messy, but it is what it is because this wall is going, the back wall is going, so there's no point of spending our energy and resources, so like painting and money basically, to make something look good for about a month for us to then get rid of it, right? So it is what it is. The flooring is actually great in the sense that this was underneath that ugly carpet in the first video that you would have spotted. But yeah, basically this is a real walnut, I believe. What was it? Mahogany, maybe? I'm not sure. I can't remember. Basically wooden flooring, which is really good quality, and so happy with it. Although we do have it in the rest of the house, so we've got it in the hallway and we've got it in the living room as well. I don't think it's staying here because obviously if we want to extend it out, we want like a seamless look. So we're going to change the flooring, but I don't know whether this will stay underneath. So we'll have a chat with the builders when we get there. So essentially what I wanted to do to finish this video up is basically to put the party decorations up and see how it looks and finish it there on like a high note where it's going to be party, 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 which is everything on my mind in the next couple of weeks, and I'm taking you guys along with me, so make sure to subscribe. This looks so good and I'm so happy with it. I do actually have a lampshade that I bought yesterday to go here, but that'll take about a week to get delivered. I might actually wait for the decorations to go down before I put it up, maybe when I paint this gloss as well actually. So it's like a rattan kind of design to go with the lampshade in here basically. It's also round but a little bit more shallow, but again, it's like that rattan kind of look, basically, which I really love. Quickly, as a last couple of other mentions, basically I wanted to say that it's really, really important to prepare the wall before you paint it. Painting it is the finishing touch, but actually the preparation is the most important. And as you can see, I didn't prepare this wall very well because I didn't have that electric sander, but I want to borrow it off my dad-in-law. So basically I thought, as a quick win, basically I'm just going to paint it, and I'm going to do this after the party. But as you can see, where they did the rewiring and re-plastered the wall, whatever they used was actually a bit too much. I did manage to fill in gaps that were around here, but actually this still doesn't look very nice. So I can't wait to basically just sand it down and make it look a little bit more presentable. Whereas I filled in the cracks, firstly in the ceiling and also the coving, you would have seen there were loads and loads and loads of cracks all around here. But where I actually, okay, camera focus, where I actually filled them in, you can't actually tell. Even the camera is having a hard time focusing. There is that rewiring bit again. There's also some on this wall in the middle, but we will sort that, as I said, later on. But in terms of like a filler, I'll make sure to link mine down below because it's trusted. I know that it works, and basically it's really good. I've been using it a lot. And yeah, it did the trick for especially this wall, which like my camera doesn't seem to even be able to focus on. So clearly all the cracks and everything has gone, and you don't notice that at all. So those were the bits that I wanted to share with you, especially if you're redecorating. I thought those would be like great ideas and tips, and especially if you're basically starting an extension and basically in the same position as us. But I'm so glad that the decorations are up. It's less than 2 weeks to go, but I'm glad I can tick something off the list. If I do get time, maybe I'll make some more. I do have some more different like rainbow colored decorations coming from Amazon as well, so I can't wait to show you all of that once it's up, once it comes together, and to basically share my son's birthday party with you guys as well. So make sure to subscribe. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this makeover and the redecoration. It actually proves to me and shows me how much hard work we've done as a family, and I can't wait to actually share with you a whole new house tour with you guys. So I'll do a full house tour when the extension is completely done and dusted and we have the kitchen.